What's up, guys? It's your boy Keep It Real MMA. Not long came home from work, so a bit rough, but you know what I mean. I had to make this video. It was about 2:05 in the morning, so I just want to make this video. You know what time it is? Probably, well, obviously you know based off the title, but UFC Fight Night Sandhagen versus Sandhagen. So obviously you know I gotta make this video, and yeah. So obviously, guys, if you're new here, please like and subscribe. So I go from the prelims, if it's a pay-per-view, early prelims, all the way to the main card. In this case, it's a fight night, so just prelims to the main card. And yeah, so let's just get straight into it. First fight on the card is a lightweight bout between Nicholas Mortara and Cameron Van Camp. Nicholas Mortara is a -205 favourite. Van Camp is a +175 underdog. I'm actually going to go with my first underdog pick in Cameron Van Camp. Cameron Van Camp is coming off a first-round KO loss to Andre Fialho, but people that don't understand that Andre Fialho has like not a lot of losses, but he has some losses on the regional scene which have aged very well. And the thing is, right, like when he lost to Jake Matthews in his last fight, Fialho, like Jake Matthews looked so improved and just insane in that fight. And obviously his last loss before that was to Michel Pereira. There's no shame in losing to Michel Pereira. Michel Pereira is such a good fighter, man, especially when he's being technical and he's fighting smart. So you can't really knock him for it. And the thing is, right, like Nicholas Mortara, he came into the UFC as something special and fought Jim Miller, and he got knocked out by Jim Miller. You can't be getting knocked out by Jim Miller, bro. I'm just going to put it bluntly. You can't be getting knocked out by Jim Miller. Simple as. And, like especially as a prospect who's so special and is, you know, ready to run through the division, bro. You can't do that. You can't be labelled as that and then lose to Jim Miller, bro. That's just not how it works. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's just insane to me how he was so hyped up and then just got KO'd by Jay Miller. So yeah, I see Cameron Van Camp now. Don't forget when he fought Fialho, that was at welterweight. He came in on short notice for his debut. He's getting a full camp for this one, and he's going to be a massive lightweight. Was he 6'2", and Nicholas Mortara's only 5'9". Nicholas Mortara's my height, 5'9". Cameron Van Camp is 6'1". 6'2". He's going to be massive. If he makes the weight well and looks good on the scale, 100%, I'm still keeping my pick. I'm going to go with Van Camp getting a second round submission. He has a lot of submissions on his record. What is his record exactly? 15-6. He's got a decent record, and he's just got all the physical advantages alongside a lot of experience for how young he is. He's in his 20s, so you've got to give him credit for that. And I just think that he's just a better fighter than Nicholas Mortara. And with all the physical advantages, it's hard not to pick him. So yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. Next fight on the card, Tony Gravely versus Javid Basharat. Tony Gravely's a +135 underdog. Javid Basharat is a -155 favourite. I'm going to go with Javid Basharat by 29-28 decision. Obviously, he's undefeated, 12-0, 5'9". Tony Gravely's 5'5". Tony Gravely got a good record in 23-7, but the problem with Tony Gravely is that he has what we call the curse of being a bantamweight. Now, what I mean by this is, because naturally I would be a bantamweight. I weigh about 165, 170. So I'd cut down to 135 or 145. So I'm around that weight class, right? The problem with Tony Gravely is he looks good just because he's a bantamweight. I think MMA Guru touched on this because I like to watch his videos. Obviously, this channel was inspired by him. But I think he touched on this a lot, and I agree with him. Bantamweights just look really good. Really good. Because don't forget, right, bantamweights are so much more technically sound than every other weight class. Even flyweights. Flyweights are just almost as technical, but just faster. You know what I'm saying? So I look at Tony Gravely's record now. So obviously, Sherdog, whichever one works now. So obviously, he's coming off of 2 wins in a row. He beat Simon Oliveira by unanimous decision, and then Johnny Munoz Jr. by KO. But then he's losing people like Nathan Maness, who is very good, but he's a very basic fighter. And I think Nathan Maness eventually, like, after getting the shit kicked out of him, he eventually adjusted and just like was able to like basically once he adjusted, he was able to just beat the shit out of Gravely back. And the thing is, if you've got somebody that can push a good pace and that can do very well and take some shots, Tony seems to struggle a lot, and that's why I'm giving Javid Bashrat the nod here. I'm gonna give him 29-28 decision. I just believe that he's slightly better than. I just think that, well, not slightly better. I think he is better, like not like dominating better, just better. And that's why I got him by 29-28. I think he'll win the last 2 rounds, in my opinion. So yeah, next fight on the card: Maria Agapova versus Gillian Robertson. Maria Agapova is a +125 underdog. Gillian Robertson is a -145 favorite. I want to pick Maria Agapova so bad because she's really talented. She's really good, but the issue I have with her is if she's on bottom on her back, she looks like she doesn't know what's going on. She looks so scared. She looks like she doesn't know what she's doing, and she just gets dominated. And Gillian Robertson has very, very good jiu-jitsu. Maria Agapova has a lot of power for flyweight, and she's very strong. The striking's very good, but Gillian Robertson is tough. She could take a fucking shot, man. She can really take a shot. And on top, like I said, on top of taking a shot, her jiu-jitsu and her wrestling is very good. And I just believe that she'll be able to take Maria Agapova down, be able to control her, and just be able to just get her into positions where she can't really do much, and then she'll panic like she usually does because she can't fight there. Unless she's improved a lot, but I don't know, man. Thing is with Maria Agapova, like a lot of people get deceived by her record because she has quite a few submissions. Her first 2 wins in the UFC were submissions, I believe. I'll have a look. Maria Agapova. Maria Agapova. Apology. What's her name? Demon's name. How have I never like peeped their record, bro? Oh, this PC's fucking slow, man. Come on, let's go. Sure, good looking girl. Anyway, where's the record? Just fight the details. I want to see the fucking the record, bro. Like I know our record's 10-3. I just want to see the wins and losses, because my memory's not the best, right? Obviously, right? Okay. Yeah, you can fuck off. So. Right, obviously she had a loss to Tracy Cortez on the Contender Series, which was a unanimous decision. Tracy Cortez is pretty decent, so I can understand why. She has a loss to Marina Moroz. That was the Covington and Masvidal card. She lost by arm triangle choke. You see what I mean? She's losing by this type of way. Obviously, she got a rear naked choke against Sabina Mazo and got a submission choke against Hannah Cyphers. But the problem is that her submissions, right? Like I said, her record's very deceiving. Her submissions are after she's already hurt her opponent and ends up in a circumstantial submission where she can just take him out. That's what it is. So I'm going with Gillian Robertson, submission. Yeah. Next fight on the card, Trey Ogden versus Daniel Zellhuber. There's no odds on this one for some reason, but I'm going to go with Daniel Zellhuber. Now, it's hard. I'm going to go through Zellhuber's record, right? Just so I can remind myself, right? Obviously, his nickname's Golden Boy, right? He's 12-0, right? His fight against Lucas Almeida was very telling, because against Lucas Almeida, right? Lucas Almeida just won his debut. He beat him on the Contender Series, right? Lucas Almeida was very good and very touted out and very talented. And this, like, Daniel Zellhuber just looks very, very good in every person that he fights. And the problem I have with Trey Ogden, right? Trey Ogden, is that his losses are so sus. Like, he's losing to Nick Brown by submission, and Nick Brown's not too bad, but he's not UFC level. And then he loses against Jordan Levitt and by a split decision. Jordan Levitt, if any fighter's fighting Jordan Levitt, it's a very touted out fight because Jordan Levitt is above the bottom feeders, but he's not quite at the contender level. So if you can't get past Jordan Levitt, you're the bottom feeder level of lightweight. So, I mean, Paddy Pimblett proves that he can get to the contender level because he just beat Jordan Levitt, right? By submission. And Trey Ogden just couldn't get past him. And Zeller looks like he's living up to his golden boy nickname, let's just say. I don't want to jinx it, but he looks very good. His striking is crisp, his grappling is very good. I'm going to go with a 30-27 decision for Daniel Zeller, but he's very long, very big for the division, and if that's the thing, like, you got to pick him because he's taken almost a year off after his Contender Series win, for his debut, to make sure that he was ready. And he must be ready because he's taking on Trey Ogden, who's no joke, I guess, but he's at the bottom feeder level, man. I mean, he lost to John Levitt, so... I mean... And John Levitt's in purgatory. He's in between the bottom feeder and the contender level. Because he's good, he's decent, but he's nothing special. So I'm going to go with Daniel Zeller, getting a nice 30-27 decision, showing his true skills. Next fight on the card, Denise Gomez versus Loma Lookboonmee. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Loma Lookboonmee by 29-28. Denise Gomez is a -230 favorite, by the way. Loma is a +195 underdog. Loma has very good striking, and Denise Gomez's striking is aight, but Loma Lookboonmee, she has very, very good defensive grappling, and I just don't see Denise Gomez getting her down and be able to apply her jiu-jitsu or any ground and pound or anything of that nature. I just see Loma Lookboonmee able to push her pace, push her game, and obviously she's from Thailand. She has very good, very, very good Thai boxing, and I just think that she's going to be able to just edge out the 29-28, where she loses the first round maybe and wins the next two, and just shows decent skill. So that's what I got there. Loma Lookboonmee is pretty straightforward in my opinion. I don't know why Denise Gomez is such a big favourite, but yeah, I got Loma Lookboonmee by 29-28 unanimous decision. Next fight on the card, Aspen Ladd versus Sarah McMahon. Aspen Ladd's a -135 favourite. Sarah McMahon is a +115 underdog. Right, I'm in a dilemma, right? Do I trust Aspen Ladd to not be a pussy and just sit on the outside and do nothing, and trust her to actually fight like herself and get, establish her striking and her grappling against Sarah McMahon? Or do I pick the much older fighter that has established the way that she wants to fight and knows, and she's figured herself out? Because Aspen Ladd's like 27, I believe, and she's 9-3. Obviously, she had that one TKO loss. Sarah McMahon's 13-6. But the thing is with Sarah McMahon, right? She's lost to the top of the top. She's lost to Amanda Nunes. She's lost to who she lose to? Juliana Pena. She's lost to very good people. Oh. I gotta. She's lost to very good people, man. Like, yeah, she lost. Right, look at this. Right, she lost to Ronda Rousey, Miesha Tate, Amanda Nunes, Caitlin Vieira, Maron Renault, Juliana Pena. It's not bad people to lose to, man. Like, especially like, Amanda Nunes, Juliana Pena, you know what I mean? Caitlin Vieira, Ronda Rousey back in the day. Like, these are very good losses to have. And she's 13-6. I just think that Aspen Ladd I'm going to pick Aspen Ladd. Oh, 29-28. She's winning the second or third round, I believe. First round, she's going to be hesitant like she has been in her last couple of fights. And I believe then she'll, have her boyfriend / coach go, "The fuck you doing, Aspen? Do something about it. Do something about it." You know what I mean? Like Conor McGregor. And then I see her actually, kicking her ass in gear and just being able to establish, being able to establish her striking, establish her, which has improved, by the way, and establish her grappling against the cage, and just be able to just outpoint Sarah McMahon in the last 2 rounds. And don't forget, right, Sarah McMahon quits a lot, especially when she gets pushed. She quits. So I think Aspen Ladd can do that if she fights like a normal self, in my opinion. So yeah. Next fight on the card, Trevin Giles versus Louise Koshke. Trevin Giles is a -205 favourite. Louise Koshke is a +175 underdog. Louise Koshke is definitely the better brother out of him and Orion. Orion is fucking trash. He looked terrible against Blood Diamond, even though he won. Right. I'm going to go with Trevin Giles. Now, he's coming off of 2 KO losses in a row. But that was at middleweight. Now, this is a welterweight. He's a lot bigger. He's going to be a lot bigger than Louise Koshke. And he was doing well against Dricus du Plessis before he got knocked out by Dricus. And, he was doing... And obviously he lost to Michael Morales, but he was doing very good. And the thing is, right, he has slick striking. He's very heavy. And he's very strong. And Louise Koshke, all their hype has died, man. Even though he's only got 1 loss, you know what I mean? And I just think that Trevin Giles is just going to be able to get a 30-27 decision where he keeps him at range. He's going to have 3-inch reach advantage, 3-inch leg reach advantage. He's, Louise Koshke is only 5'9" like me. I'm 5'9", like I said. Trevin Giles is 6 foot. I think that Trevin Giles is going to just be able to establish his game better than Louise Koshke and just be able to take his power and just... You know what I mean? And just be able to win over the 3 rounds. Like, people forget, man. Dricus du Plessis has hella good power, man. So, and Trevin Giles was winning the fight, in my opinion. So, yeah. Anyway, next fight on the card. Damon Jackson versus Patsabatini. Damon Jackson's a +155 underdog. Patsabatini is a -180. I'm going to go with the favourite in Patsabatini. Damon Jackson's pretty good, though. But what's his record? Was he 21-4 with 1 no contest? Patsabatini 17-3. Damon Jackson's 3 inches taller with 1 inch of reach. I'm going to go with Patsabatini, man. I just think he's going to be able to push a pace that Jackson won't be able to go a level above. Like, the thing with Damon Jackson is he relies on just being that tiny bit better than the opponent that he's fighting, you know what I mean? Like, he's always that tiny bit better, but I just don't think he'll do that against Patsabatini. Patsabatini is ruthless, man, and I just think that he's going to just be able to establish anything that he wants, because the thing with Damon Jackson is he's like on his way to losing a fight, and then he just ends up in a crazy scramble where he somehow ends up on top, luckily, and he ends up winning the fight off of that because of no damage, so he just wins off control. So I just think Patsabatini's not going to give him those opportunities, and I'm going to go with Patsabatini getting a 3rd round TKO over Damon Jackson. But Damon Jackson's very fucking tough, bro. He's very tough. He's very good. He's very strong. But I just think Patsabatini's just that step level above, and I just think that he's going to get it done by 3rd round TKO. I don't think he's going to struggle that much. He can give a good fight, though. Damon Jackson, obviously, that fight against, what was it? Charles Rosa was mad. The way he was leaking out of his head and able to just take down Charles Rosa and keep him down, and I mean, it was a very good fight, but he's a good fighter, like I said. I just don't see him doing much against Patsabatini that he needs to do to win the fight. So I got Patsabatini by 3rd round TKO. So yeah, that's how I see that fight going, Next on the card, Anthony Hernandez versus Marc-Andre Barriault. Anthony Hernandez is a -180 favourite. Marc-Andre Barriault is a +155 underdog. I'm going to go with the favourite in Anthony Hernandez. Anthony Hernandez and Marc-Andre Barriault are very similar fighters in a way. They like to break their opponent. They like to push a pace on their opponent and break them. I just think that Anthony Hernandez is the better fighter, and he's also the better pace setter. I think he has slightly better cardio. The thing with Anthony Hernandez is, like, obviously he's very reserved in his fighting style, but because obviously he's looking for the he's obviously looking for his opportunities to strike. And the thing is, right, his fight against Josh Friend, he looked very good. He looked very composed. Obviously got the decision win. Thing is, right, like, obviously back in 2021 he beat Rodolfo Vieira by submission in round 2. He has good submissions, good grappling, and he's very good at establishing what you call it, like, he's very good at establishing his pace. Because the thing is, right, he establishes pace and he eventually breaks people. Marc-Andre Barriault relies on that, but I just don't think he's as good or has as great as cardio as Anthony Hernandez. And Anthony Hernandez has a great chin, and you know what I mean, I know he got finished by Kevin Holland, but it's Kevin Holland, man. Kevin Holland has crazy power, man. And I just don't see Marc-Andre Barriault producing that same amount of power, because obviously the problem with Kevin Holland is he can hit you from angles that you don't expect. Like, he didn't expect that elbow to land, so he just didn't expect it, and that's what put him down. But other than that, man, I just see him being able to push a pace that Marc-Andre Barriault won't be able to keep up with, and will realize that he's been outmatched in terms of cardio, in terms of skill too. Because Anthony Hernandez has very, very good striking, which he's greatly improved. I think he's a slightly better striker with a better grappling, and I just think that his cardio will eventually break Marc-Andre Barriault. If not break him, definitely get him the win, and I got him by 30-27 decision. Next fight on the card, Tanner Boser versus Rodrigo Nascimento Ferreira. Tanner Boser's a minus 165 favourite. Rodrigo Nascimento Ferreira is a plus 140 underdog. I'm going to go with Tanner Boser by first round KO. Rodrigo has the physical advantages, obviously. He's 9-1, decent record, I guess. Tanner Boser's 20-8. They're both 6'2", but he has a 4.5-inch reach advantage, Rodrigo Nascimento Ferreira. Also, same leg reach. Now, his arms are longer, but the problem is, I just think that Tanner Boser is so good at getting in on the inside, man. And he beat Andre Arlovski. That was such a robbery. He beat Andre Arlovski. I don't care what any of you say. He beat Andre Arlovski. He did very well. And he could push a pace for heavyweight, man. Like, he really can. I don't think Rodrigo Nascimento Ferreira will be able to keep up with the pace, but I don't think he'll even get into the later rounds. I think Tanner Boser will win at the end of the first round. I think he'll KO Rodrigo stiff. Thing is with Rodrigo, man, he has the length and the range, but the problem is he allows fighters with the reach disadvantage get in on the inside, and Tanner Boser has crazy power, man. Like, and the thing is, right, like, he has crazy power, and the thing is, right, he did very well against Cyril Gane. Cyril Gane should be champion of the heavyweight division right now, and he held his own against Cyril Gane as best as he could. He did very well in that fight. Obviously, I believe he's coming off a win right now, Tanner Boser. Tanner Boser's doing... He's coming off a win, I believe. Where's his... Yeah, so on. Like, the thing is, right, like, obviously... He lost to Ilir Latifi by decision, which he definitely won. Obviously, then he lost to Andre Arlovski as well, which was bullshit. He beat Andre Arlovski. And then he went and KO'd Ovan St. Peru. And then obviously his fight against Sergey Pavlovich got cancelled, but now he's got Rodrigo Nascimento Ferreira. I just think that he's the better fighter. I think that he is going to be able to catch him on the chin as he comes in on the inside. So yeah, I got Tanner Boser by first round KO. Next fight on the card is Joe Pyfer versus Alan Amedovski. I can't really say his name. Amedovski. There we go. I can say Nurmagomedov, but I can't say Amedovski. But yeah, I got Joe Pyfer, man. Alan, all I need to say is, right, I'm Welsh, right? I'm a Welsh boy. But John Phillips is fucking terrible. Fucking terrible. Even though he's Welsh, like I said, he's a fellow countryman, he's shit. He's fucking shit. And Alan Amedovski lost to John Phillips by KO. Like, does there any more need to be said about that? I mean, he's older, he's 34. Joe Pyfer has the youth advantage on his side. Alan Amedovski is very short for the division. He's only 5'10". Joe Pyfer's 6'2", has an inch reach advantage, and I just think that he's just going to establish his range and get a second round KO. In my opinion, I just think he will drop Alan in the first round, and I just think that he's just the better fighter all around. And there's not much to say about it. I just think that I see him establishing range and just popping him when he needs to, and I just see him getting a second round KO. In my opinion. Unfortunate for Alan Amedovski, but he's just there to lose the people. He's 8-3. You know what I mean, Joe Pyfer's 9-2. I see him getting a dub by second round KO. Next fight on the card, Andre Fili versus Bill Algeo. Andre Fili's a -120 favourite. Bill Algeo's a +100 underdog. I'm going to see these lines close, I believe. A lot of people are picking Bill Algeo. I'm going to pick Andre Fili. Now, I know Andre Fili's coming off a KO loss to Brito, but here's the thing with Andre Fili. He only struggles when he gets put up against people who have crazy power. Crazy power. Bill Algeo doesn't have power. And the thing is, right, Bill Algeo is built to fight people who have crazy power. Like Herbert Burns, like Brito, you know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. He's built to fight people like that. And the thing is, right, when you're built to fight people like that, you're going to do very well, whether it's on short notice or whether it's, whether it's on short notice or whether it's on, sorry, I'm just looking at something. There we go. Whether it's on short notice or whether it's, a full camp, because, like I said, if they're not taking steroids like Usman, most of the time, if they have that crazy power, they don't have great cardio, and Bill Algeo breaks them in the end, as the fight goes on. Now, here's the problem, right? And when he fights somebody who's more well-rounded and can push a pace also, who is there for the 3 rounds, which Andre Fili will be, and doesn't have to worry about power coming back his way, Bill Algeo loses. And that's evident in the Ricardo Ramos fight. Ricardo Ramos just did exactly what he needed to do. And Ricardo Lamas also beat Bill Algeo by decision. Thing is, with Bill Algeo, like I said, if they're well-rounded, not worried about his power coming back to him, they do very well against him and they end up picking up a decision win. And I know Andre Fili, he's got a lot of pressure on him because he got KO'd in his last fight. Because he doesn't have power to worry about, I just see him getting a 29-28 in my opinion. I just see Bill Algeo going all out in the first round because he's coming in on short notice, and only took his fight because he got a kid on the way, by the way. So Andre Fili being able to survive, just pick his shots, and then the second, third round just take over by being more well-rounded than Bill Algeo. So yeah, I see Andre Fili getting it done by 29-28. Next fight on the card is the co-main event, Chidi Njokuani versus Gregory Rodriguez. Chidi Njokuani is a -115. Oh wait, it's more of a pick-em. It's a pick-em fight. I'm going to go with Chidi Njokuani by 30-27 decision. Now, you give Gregory Rodriguez somebody like Julian Marquez or someone like that who's going to brawl. Like, if you give him someone like that who's going to brawl, Gregory Rodriguez will catch him on the chin, and he has crazy power. I think he's on steroids. I don't know, though, but he looks like he's on steroids. But Chidi Njokuani is not stupid enough, and I know I could eat my words, and I have a couple of times, but Chidi, please don't be a fucking retard. I got Chidi Njokuani because he's a lot smarter than the fighters that Gregory Rodriguez is fighting. He's not stupid enough to get into a brawl when he knows he can pick at Gregory Rodriguez on the outside. And the thing is, they're both 6'3", but he's got 5 inches of reach. He knows what he's got to do, and he's got to win over Andrade Blachowicz. He has good KOs, and he has good power, like I said. But he's very good on the outside, and he can pick people apart if he needs to. And I believe that he will crack Rodriguez a couple of times, but I believe that will get him the win is the shots on the outside and just forcing Gregory Rodriguez to try and make it a scrap, but just staying smart and calm and composed and just staying on the outside. I just don't see Gregory Rodriguez forcing him into a scrap. I really don't. And because of that, I got Chidi Nachikoni by 30-27 decision. Next fight on the card, the main event of the evening, Corey Sandhagen versus Song Yadong. Corey Sandhagen is a -190 favourite. Song Yadong is a +160 underdog. I'm going to go with Corey Sandhagen by 4-1 decision. 4 rounds to 1. What's that? 49-46. You know, the phantom scorecards that Usman, Ngannou, and Adesanya have. But yeah, I got him by 49-46. Problem with Song Yadong. He's 24 years old. He has a few losses, but they're learning losses, you know. And he's at the reach disadvantage, he's at the leg reach disadvantage, and a height disadvantage. Song Yadong's 5'8", Corey Sandhagen's 5'11" with a 70-inch reach. The problem with Song Yadong, he did not, and I repeat, he did not beat Marlon Vera. He lost that fight. He lost the second and third round. And the thing is, right, here's the problem with Song Yadong. He's nowhere near his prime. He's 24, like I said. He has so much time to improve, and the amount that he's accomplished already, fighting a top 5 guy, crazy. He's not fighting any top 5 guy. He's fighting Corey Sandhagen, the guy that got robbed against TJ Dillashaw, clearly beat TJ Dillashaw 3-2. And people don't talk about this, right? I'll get to it in a minute, right? I'll go to Song Yadong first. Song Yadong lost to Kyler Phillips. Kyler Phillips is very good. And how did Kyler Phillips beat him? Kyler Phillips stayed on the outside, constantly switching stances, popping head kicks, body kicks, leg kicks, mixing it up in the kicking range, and being very unpredictable, and Song Yadong couldn't catch him. Song Yadong does so well against basic fighters. If you're a basic fighter that doesn't switch stances much or move around, he's probably going to KO you. I think the only reason he KO'd Marlon Moraes is because Marlon Moraes has just fallen off. His chin's gone and stuff like that. So, but still, you can't take the win away from Song Yadong. But you give him people like Casey Kenny who can move a little bit. He struggled to beat Casey Kenny, and you get people like Was it Vince Morales? Was it Vince Morales? Yeah, it was Vince Morales. He struggled against Vince Morales because Vince Morales kept moving, kept popping him, but Song Yadong got the win, right? But he lost to Kyler Phillips because Kyler Phillips was just too agile for him, too slippery. You know what I mean? He was too out of the way, and Corey Sandhagen is the definition of that style. Corey Sandhagen stands on the outside, constantly switches stances, has great takedown defense, and you know what I mean, only people like Aljamain Sterling are submitting him. He's losing to people like Aljamain Sterling and Piotr Jan, you know what I mean? He's not losing to anybody low level, man. He's losing to people. Aljamain Sterling is the champ right now, and Piotr Jan's the #1 contender. So you got to take that into account. And he constantly switches stances, always on the outside, keeping people at kicking range. And what people don't understand about Corey Sandhagen, right, is that Corey Sandhagen was on his way to beating Piotr Jan. People don't understand that. Like, Piotr Jan usually drops the first 2 rounds because he reads his opponent and then wins the 3rd and 4th and 5th. Corey Sandhagen was winning the 3rd round before he got dropped. If he didn't get dropped, he would have won that 3rd round. And you know what that means? He only got 10-9 in the 4th and 5th. He would have won 3-2. He was on his way to beating Piotr Jan before he got dropped. People don't forget how good Corey Sandhagen is. He's had 11 months off to work on his game. I'm glad that he's done that, so now he's able to work on himself and get better. And obviously he has, because he's taken this fight, and he's confident in beating Song Yadong, and I believe that he will. So yeah, guys, that's all I got to say. Yeah, I appreciate all the new people, you know, showing the love and stuff. Please like and subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate you watching, and yeah, it's 20 to 3 in the morning, so it's not that late, but you know what I mean. You know, it's fucked when I say that's not that late, but yeah. I appreciate you all, guys. Like I said, my TikTok is Keep It Real Edits. This is Keep It Real MMA. I appreciate you all. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.